Hey guys, it's the 23rd of January today. I don't know why, but I almost said October. And I want to tell you something that happened to me in the beginning of the week. So over the summer I had planned on volunteering at a LGBT youth center, and it didn't work out for the time being because of surgery and other stuff, but I kept in contact with the people, and early last week one of the members of the board messaged me on Facebook and said that he had been contacted to do an interview about trans youth, but not being trans himself, he didn't feel comfortable doing it, and he was wondering if I could do it. So I said yes, just why not, and set up a time to do a phone interview with the person on Monday, not really knowing any details about anything to do with it, just that it was about trans youth. So this woman calls me on Monday and introduces herself and tells me a little bit about the article that she's writing and the medium through which she writes, which turned out to be an online newspaper blog type of thing. And she told me that she had interviewed a few other people, some of which I knew, which made me feel a little bit better about the authenticity of it, at least, and to know that some good people were in the article. In case I screwed up and said something stupid, at least they would say the right things. And then she told me that if there were any questions she asked that I was uncomfortable answering, just to say so, and that was fine. And that made me a bit apprehensive, because if you're prefacing an interview with a statement like that, what kind of questions was she planning on asking, you know? But I kind of just ignored it, and we went on with the interview, and surprisingly, and I was happy to see that the questions she was asking were really, really good. They were really well thought out, and they were really well researched, and she had clearly done a lot of work, and she was asking all the right things, and nothing was making me uncomfortable, and she wasn't being rude, and everything was really, really good, and we were having a good conversation. And then completely out of the blue, she asks me what my birth name is. And I paused for a bit, because the way that the interview was going and the types of questions she was asking, I really didn't expect that to pop up. And I told her that I was uncomfortable answering that I didn't want to tell her that information. And there was kind of like an awkward pause, I guess you could call it, and I tried to explain to her that that question is really triggering for some people, for most trans people, and it's not really important information, and I was okay, hearing my birth name, or, if someone calls me that instead, it doesn't affect me that much, but that is really triggering for some people, and she just shouldn't ask it. And I was just trying to express to her that I wasn't angry with her for asking the question. I was just trying to tell her, you shouldn't ask it to other trans people. It's not a question that's important. And then, kind of, I guess, in an effort to justify why she asked it, she made a statement like, oh, well, I wasn't going to put it in the article anyways. And that made me really, really angry. And I didn't say anything at the time, and now looking back, I wish that I had, because the more I think about it, the angrier it makes me. Because, like I said, the nature of the questions that she was asking didn't lead up to knowing my birth name, and knowing it would not have added any substance to the article. It wouldn't have changed anything, and it really had no place in the article. It wasn't an important question to ask, and it wasn't a valuable piece of information for the type of article that she was writing. And so there was really no point in her asking it with regards to the article. But saying that she wasn't even going to put it in the article it confirmed that she was clearly only asking for her own curiosity. And that made me even more mad, because we talked about two things during the interview before that. One of the things was that I was trying to explain to her the name change process in Montreal, which she didn't really know that much about, and I was trying to explain how difficult it is here, and how expensive it is here, and how long it takes, and she really didn't know any of that information, and was surprised by it, how much of a struggle it is for trans people in Montreal in regards to changing their name. So we talked about that. And then later she asked me what I thought the most difficult part about being trans was, And I told her that it was that you present yourself as in one way, in the way that you see yourself, and you identify a certain way, and then for a really long time your ID cards just completely betray that. And it's really difficult to have to explain to someone every time you give in your ID why the name on it and the gender on it is different from how you're presenting yourself. So after talking about those two things, for her to ask me what my birth name was just seemed really rude and really disrespectful, and it made me mad. And like I said, I wish I had said something about it to her, and I'm actually thinking of contacting her just to let her know, because I'm worried now about how she's going to portray me in this article, and if she's going to use some of the things that informative things that I said and some of the valuable things that I said, or if she's just going to portray me as this kind of rude douchebag who wouldn't tell her my birth name. So I know I'm just overreacting a little bit to that, but it did make me angry, and I'm very apprehensive about what's going to be in the article, which she said would be published at the beginning of February. So maybe after I read it, I'll talk to her about it, and that might be a better use of my emotions than just, blasting her for asking that question. So I'll wait for my brain to cool down a bit until I read the article to say something. And then, so I was thinking about name stuff a lot, and then this morning I was opening my mail and I looked at my Visa bill, and there was like a letter in the back of the Visa bill that said that as of March, they're changing the layout of their cards, and that the name on the card has to be 20 characters or less, which mine was not, so I was going to have to change my name on the card. And that made me so mad. I was like ready to rip up the letter, because that means I'm going to have to change the name on my card in March and then change it again once I get my name change actually legalized. And it just made me so frustrated because obviously I would want to change the name on my Visa card, but now I'm going to have to do it twice, and it was like, why is this all happening in 1 week? And then I open the next letter, and it's from the government saying that my name change was approved and that they'll send me the paper soon. So yeah, it was a very up and down roller coaster of emotions. But yeah, so now I'm waiting for my name change to start, I guess. Just to be clear, I applied to apply, so they accepted my preemptive application, I guess you could call it, and they're going to send me all the documents I need to actually change my name now. And from what I've heard, that'll take about 3 months, and according to some people, about $650. So I'm not looking forward to spending that money, but I am looking forward to have my name legally changed, and name stuff is happening this week, and that, yes. So that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about. On a completely separate note, I bought a fuck ton of Sharpies, like, I don't know, like a lot of Sharpies. This is half of them. And I'm hoping to get my marker drawing up to snuff so that I can put together a portfolio and get on this tattoo thing. So that's fun. And yeah, I guess I'll keep you guys updated on the name change stuff, because I know a lot of people in Montreal want to know what to do. So yeah, names, fun. Have a great week, guys.